All right, it's your boy Boss Cowboy coming back with another video, getting ready to break down what Amari was just talking about, where he was asked about CeeDee Lamb and is he ready to assume the #1 position. And this is going to go into what I've talked about a lot. I mean, I've talked about this often on Boss Cowboy Sports, so this is going to be repeat, but it's important because I've also identified this as the biggest risk to our 2022 season. So this is what he said in reply. He said CeeDee's been ready. Again, it's just about opportunity. I think if Kellen decides to feature him, he's definitely ready to step up. CeeDee is a playmaker. I'm just reminded of the Vikings game when we were breaking the huddle. He was ready then. He was like, I want the fade. He want to make plays. He said, we've all seen what he's able to do when you throw him the fade. He's been ready. He's going to make the plays when his jersey number is called, and I can't wait to see it happen. Now, some people go actually misread this. They go think that he's been messy. They go think that he's taking shots and taking digs at Kellen Moore. He's actually not. He's actually telling the truth, and he's saying what he's always said, even when he was interviewed by 105.3 The Fan. He said clearly when he was interviewed by The Fan, we know when we're going to be featured in the offense by practice. If they don't feature us in practice, we will not be featured in the game. So he always knew when he was not going to be a focal point of the offense because he's smart, he's observant, and he saw the pattern. If you don't give me the practice reps, I'm not going to get the game reps. He saw the pattern. He identified the pattern, and that's when he was saying he felt like he could help the offense on third downs and in the red zone if they intentionally targeted him more in those areas. He also proved to be true because they targeted him more in those areas, and he also made more plays in those areas. So the question is this new? No, it's not new. It's actually just what Dez said. If you go back to Dez's tweet, it was around March. He said, let's be clear. And he was talking to Katie Drummond. He said, if Dallas wanted Amari Cooper to have an unbelievable year, he could have it. Too much talent over there to be running a system-based offense. Kellen, Dak need to work on pre-check and identifying the one-on-one matchups and start playing chess. So y'all remember, I just actually talked to Michael Gelkin about this very issue. This is the #1 issue that I've identified as a risk to our season. The question is, when are we going to start saying this together? Because at this point, it's way more than enough clues to know who's guilty and what the breakdown is on our offense. And a lot of people are falling for the mirage of the good stats. Yes, the stats are good, especially going against teams that are not as talented as we are. That system-based offense and that timing in offense is effective going against weaker opponents. But if you look where it gets hard, where you need to have dog on dog and dog eat dog, it does let you down. And this is where we can't rest on our laurels and just be content and not recognize that there's another level. That's why Emmett spoke on this, specifically calling out Kellen Moore. That's why you heard Michael Irvin speak on this, specifically saying, I blame Kellen Moore. All of this happened. I'm not making this stuff up. This happened. Jimmy Johnson. It's multiple Hall of Famers. Add Cooper to the list, add Dez to the list. You can even add Romo to the list, who warned about this system. And he said with a system, it starts fast. This is what Romo warning was. But he said in the end, it gets figured out. So he's not being messy. He said, I think if Kellen decides to feature him. He's consistent. He's always had that message. It's always been a clear message. And it's just Will front office listen, or will they cuddle up to Kellen and allow him to do his thing blindly? I've always said this. I don't want to talk about problems without talking about solutions. This is the solution. Do both. Do both. Because guess what? You can use the system philosophy when you're going against weaker opponents, run it up on them. But guess what? When then defense are trying to figure you out, you come out against tougher opponents as a change-up, and you feature your best guys. You go into the game plan like we're going to abandon system and we're going to do more matchup schemes versus these better opponents. So I was talking to Fred Brown, and he was telling me as a receiver, you do want to get the ball in these guys' hands early, get their confidence up, get them in the flow of the game. Like, receivers have to get in rhythm. People kind of take that. You can't start throwing the ball to them in the third quarter and expect them to just be blocking all day and then go out there and make big plays. It has to be a more cohesive strategy coming from Kellen Moore. This is why you're hearing this from all the playmakers and Hall of Famers. And it's just what it is. So, yeah, obviously I'm going to repeat because I've said this for the 10,000th time. But I do want the fan base and other podcasters and other media people to join in instead of kikiing and laughing like, Amari Cooper took a shot. No, why don't we sit back and say, is he telling the truth? He is. This is why I have pinned on my Twitter, the number one issue is playmakers versus scheme philosophy. It's the number one thing on my Twitter. I keep it pinned on there because it's a warning that if we don't make the adjustments, we could lose being stubborn to Kellen Moore's system. So y'all stay with Boss Cowboy Sports. I'm going to continue to give you this sauce. Obviously, again, this did not break for nothing. It matches what Michael Gelkin said. It matches what all my film breakdown has been saying. And it matches what all the Hall of Famers are saying. So y'all just stay with me. I'm going to continue to give this truth. And y'all stay up. Peace.